From Wall Street to Main Street, this is LALATE.
It's a big early morning's LALATE with incredible great news about your fourth stimulus check updated 2021. As two more senators, actually three, come out and tell viewers of this channel they're giving them a fourth stimulus check. Oh my goodness. In this recording, we'll go over the incredible details you're only hearing in a world exclusive on this channel. Stimulus checks being vowed for you by Warren, Sanders, Coons, and now Casey to viewers of this channel. And Warren calling for an MSC. Then we cut to the big money that is in the reconciliation bill. The first 645 pages released, and I have all the details in this recording. Checks for hazard pay, checks for workers, checks for seniors, $4,000 to care for them, and money for bikes, cars, and vehicles. Then in cluster number 2, we go over the other checks across the board, including weatherization of your home. The weather is beautiful. How the weather where you are. Then the third cluster, money to go back to school, because I never make sense. No one ever understands me. Then we cut to the big shocker that no one saw as the nonprofits continue to pay big money to the viewers of this channel. There's a lot of money, and that's on top of the $13 billion now identified coming back to your cities and counties and states from the federal government. When did this happen? It happened this week, and there's a lot of money. And the money, it all starts here because the toast is toasting, the coffee is brewing, and the butter is buttering. And this is a wonderful recording of Early Mornings LALATE. Good early morning, everybody. I hope you're having a beautiful, beautiful day across the board. It has been bombshell world exclusive after another. We started the week with the push from Brother Joshua for those MSCs revealed by Warren and Sanders, and then came Hurricane Tina getting confirmation from Sanders, then Silver being told there's a stimulus check, then the floodgates started to open as Carolyn got confirmation of a stimulus check from Sanders, but then came this. When Schumer and Elizabeth Warren's office confirm they're putting a stimulus check in there and monthly, and then this, as Casey's office indicates, they're all negotiating the details of it. I'll go over all the incredible details and a world exclusive you're only hearing on this channel in this recording. Then we cut to the first 645 pages of that reconciliation bill. Lots of checks for the American people. Checks that we had never even heard of, including $4,000 to care for seniors. Then we turn to the big money that is also in there as well. Money for bikes, money for $51,000 of MSCs over 18 years. Yes. Cluster number 2 and cluster number 3. And then we go to the big money that is landing in your cities, counties, and states. Another $13 billion from Treasury. This is Early Mornings LALATE, America's only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel in America, LALATE. I'm so excited you join me. We have a whole slot of programming today. Coming up next is Overnight's Crypto, then Mornings LALATE, Countdowns LALATE at 7 a.m., then Mornings LALATE at 9, Mornings Crypto at 10, and then noontime at 11. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, a YouTube record. I want you part of this incredible family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, Casino VIP. Let's go into the world exclusive you're hearing for the very first time on Early Mornings LA. You've heard about Bernie Sanders, but have you heard about the other senators? Today, you hear about them first on this channel because only world exclusives happen here. We have the incredible confirmation from another viewer, Will, who wrote the following. I spent the day calling yesterday around to Bernie's office, Warren's office, and Schumer's offices, and all 3 of their secretaries confirmed a stimulus check. I explained my situation and how I need a fourth stimulus check. Here's his advocacy. Here's his great advocacy. Why I need it, how it would make a big, huge impact on me. And I was told, yes, it's happening. Elizabeth Warren's office asked me what kind of check I want. I want it to be sufficient. I explained I like the American petition, and they said they are on board with that. They said that Senator Warren is considering $1,400 to $2,000, 6 to 12 months. You're only hearing these details, these world exclusives on LALATE. You're not going to hear these anywhere else in broadcast media or print media. Here's Lorica with an incredible update. She says, I just got off the phone with Senator Casey's office, and finally, he's on the committee for aging. He's pushing for a lot of money for the elderly and disabled, and I talked about what they're doing, and he said, yes, they're now in negotiations for the amount of the stimulus checks. Wow. And this is on top of everything else that had happened on this channel over the last 8 weeks. We started 8 weeks ago when WR picked up the phone and called Senator Chris Coons, a Democrat, Delaware, Joe Biden's old confidant, and was told Senator Chris Coons is putting a monthly stimulus check in there. Then I told you to pick up the phone and call every Democratic senator. You did. And then I said, call Bernie Sanders. And that's what Brother Joshua did. Got that confirmation about the MSC. More about that later in this video. But then came Hurricane Tina. I called Bernie's office. I got through and they said they're putting out another stimulus check. Then we had Lori Silver. I called Bernie Sanders' office yesterday, and I put a big purple power vote in there for the people to get it out. And according to them, they're working on it, and we need it. And then came more advocacy, which is the core and bread and butter. Carolyn says, I called Bernie Sanders' office and talked to his secretary and told her we need help out there. People are losing their homes and what they need and she agreed. Bernie's putting a stimulus check in there. There you go. Let's cut to the incredible details of the first 645 pages of that reconciliation bill, which has other checks in there as well. Checks for hazard pay, checks for workers, checks for single individuals. Let's go over all the incredible details. First, with hazard pay. Hazard pay is back on, baby. And everything in the Forced Stimulus Recon is lifetime. Has nothing to do with pandemic, nothing to be pandemic related. Hazard pay is lifetime under the Forced Stimulus Recon. In a modification to a tax code that started earlier this year. Hazard pay was first introduced to this channel in 2020, and they got it into third stimulus by modifying an old tax code called the Earned Income Tax Credit for essential workers, making the eligibility easier to come in under this threshold of eligibility, and then expanding the payment across the board. Now, if you work as an essential worker under third stimulus, you only get this earned income tax credit a certain number of years. But what are they doing? Under fourth stimulus, they're proposing this lifetime change to the tax code so that if you continue to work as an essential worker year after year and are eligible, you get this payment. Wow. Then, $4,000 to care for an elderly person. Yes, if you're a caregiver, this may be big time for you. $4,000 a year, up to. This is a big surprise that no one saw coming, and it came from Representative Richard Neal, head of the House Ways and Means Committee, putting in up to $4,000 an individual per year if you care for the elderly. On the other side, up to $4,000 a year if you care for children. Wow, there we go. How about $51,000 for MSC's monthly stimulus checks? There's a lot of multiple stimulus checks in here, but how about these monthly? Yes, $51,000. Who for? Under third stimulus, you were introduced to the child tax credit. They're proposing to do it lifetime. The first 645 pages has it lifetime, meaning if you're a parent of a child in a low-income household and that household remains low-income over the next 18 years of its life, that child will get upwards of $300 a month. Every month for 18 years, or $51,000 from newborn to age 18. Wow. How about money for fixing your home? Yes, it's in there as well. They're going to be providing incentives to fix your home if the home is in a low-income community. Incredible. Then what about money for students? New grants, including making the Pell's grant tax-free, and then grants to the colleges so they'll pay it out to you. There's more for students in the next part of this video, in the next cluster of checks coming up in a second. And then how about money for vehicles and bikes and trucks? OMG, yes. These are the electric ones. So if you want to buy an electric bike, the federal government will pick up 15% of the price tag. Personal use, business use, any use. Then if you want to buy a car for personal use, the federal government will pick up the price tag up to $7,500 if the vehicle is from the major 3 U.S. auto manufacturers. Still working underway, negotiating for the import manufacturers and also for Tesla. And then more deductions if you get the car for business use as well. Wow, incredible sums of money. In this first 645 pages, this $4,000 is hazard pay, just incredible. But what is 645 pages, and why is it just The first 645 pages. The way that Democrats do the legislation is they negotiate with fellow Democrats. Remember, no Republicans are needed for this legislation. And so the way they do it is Democratic senators and Democrat House members talk behind closed doors, in their offices, on the phone, having a cup of coffee, not on TV, not on C-SPAN, not on the floor, not on the congressional floor whatsoever. And when they agree upon something, they say, hey, go write it up. We already agreed upon this. I like that. Go write it up. And these are the first 645 pages of items, checks that they agreed upon. Wow, incredible big news. Let's go to the big shocker that no one saw coming. Third stimulus, another $13 billion. Yes, this is huge. $13 billion is being sent out for the federal government to fund more money for rent, utilities, food, internet, and mortgage assistance. You may have been in a city or county state that has no money. But I've been saying in all the live chats in the last few days, do not post that anymore because every place is now going to have money. The federal government was allocated $47 billion under third stimulus, but only sent out portions of the money over time. There's another $13 billion, and they sent it out this week. The Treasury is happy to provide the state and local governments this extra money to support Americans in need of assistance. That is the statement released this week. That means that if you're a city, county, and state, and they said they had no money before, they will have it either today or starting next week. Incredible news. Let's go to cluster number 2. What's cluster number 2? Back to forced stimulus. There's 2 more clusters of checks that they're trying to get into the reconciliation bill. They will be getting them in there. They haven't agreed to the provisions yet to write it up. And here are the second clusters of checks that the Democrats are talking about day in, day out that everyone says is going to get in there. Expansion of paid family and medical leave. What is this? Paid family leave is if, for example, the spouse is pregnant and you have to stay home to take care of them. And paid medical leave is if the child, let's say, broke their leg, you have to stay home and take care of that child. How much does it pay? A lot. Under third stimulus, they were proposing to pay this at $1,700 a week if you make $75,000 or more $70,000 or more per year. Well, let's split it. Let's say you make $35,000 a year, then you'll get $800 a week. Let's say you make $15,000 a year, then you would get $400 a week. Huge amount of money. It's incredible. Then more money for child care programs. Then expansion of the household tax credit. Then expansion of Medicare benefits to include money for dental, checks for vision, and checks for hearing. More about that in the third cluster coming up in a second. And then what about weatherization of your home? I love that. That's especially great if the Purple Hawks are flying above. Weatherization of your home is if you're in that area that is prone to fires, or hurricane or tornadoes or similar events like that. Well, the federal government will pay for that, and that's in addition to the other items that I was covering earlier in this video. Then there'll be new money for education. The first one, free pre-kindergarten. The one after that, I love this one. Have you ever tuned into a video and say, I understand what LALATE's saying. He just talks really funny. It's a strange language he's talking. Well, guess what? The federal government will allow you to go to a community college and they will pick up the tuition to take What the World is LALATE Saying 101. It's a great class. Pardon my French. They will provide a tuition-free community college. Wow, that's incredible, great news. Then there's also money for green energy and more. But boy, I have never seen so much excitement across the board. Let's turn to the big, real excitement that no one saw coming, which is the Democratic senators stepping forward and viewer after viewer telling them the importance of a stimulus check from their staff. I had told you nearly 8 weeks ago that WR, a viewer of this channel, picked up the phone and called senators like I told viewers to do it. Not a lot of people were doing it then. WR picked up the phone and called Senator Chris Coons and got the confirmation. Yes, monthly stimulus checks from his staff will be put in that forced stimulus recon. Then we had Brother Joshua, more about his incredible story later in this video, when he was told, yes, they will be putting stimulus checks monthly in that recon. I said you had to pick up the phone and call. And now we see it with Warren, Sanders, Coons, Schumer, all telling different viewers of this channel, and Casey, that they will be providing a stimulus check in that forced stimulus recon. That is an IRS stimulus check. Incredible. Can we top that? We can. As we go into the third cluster of checks, this third cluster of checks pays out even more money. And these cluster of checks are items that the president has vowed to put in that recon. Because he wants to put them in there, they're getting in there. They are checks of all magnitude, including my seniors and my workers across the board. Remember, you qualify for multiple checks under this fourth stimulus recon. And that is an addition to all those IRS checks the Democrats want to put in there as well. Free school meals for all checks are in cluster number 3. Then checks for cheaper prescription medication. Then checks for immigration reform. Then checks for farmers. Then checks for free internet. Then checks for clean energy. Then checks for independent contractors. Then checks for Medicare expansion, like lowering the eligibility for Medicare. Checks for seniors. Checks for dental. Checks for vision. And checks for hearing care. Wow, how do these work? I'll go over in the second half of this video the incredible details of these checks and why some of them are automatic. And then we'll be cutting to the big developing world exclusive as more senators coming forward and saying they're advocating for a stimulus check for you. I'll go over why your advocacy has been so important as well. But also we'll cut back over to third stimulus. And you're going to meet new viewers who are getting big sums of money across the board. The great comments like Mike, who says, "Thank you, LA. You've been great help. I've been following you for over a year. Thank you for reporting on stimulus packages. I'm so grateful. I was able to get heat and electric because of your videos." What a wonderful comment. If you have a success story, send to me a private message. There's D, whose story I love, says, "I was getting depressed hearing about all these people getting help and I couldn't find it myself. Then Dragon Lobo helped me. She's helped me find out the money. It was close till mid-October. Thank you, and tell Lobo thank you. I really appreciate that." Then Monica Blanco from Delray Beach, Florida, got $7,000 of rent from her city hall just today. And then Mark's neighbor. Wow, Mark's neighbor, who is different than Mark's other neighbor and different than Mark's brother-in-law, got $46,000 of rent overnight, then got $12,000 for utilities, and then $10,000 to SNAP. The success stories are coming on daily, hourly. I'm going to have more about this and more exciting news as nonprofits are now picking up money for refrigerators and providing new furnaces to viewers this channel and even fixing their windows. Boy, it's a big early mornings broadcast. I got all these exciting details coming up after the commercial break, but here's a little bit about the community page. I'll be back with you in 60 seconds. If you want money right now, not 5 days from now, and not 5 weeks from now, then reach out to the community page. The volunteers can help you find that money for rent and utilities. That's at news.la.com/community. The community page features a series of volunteers who are viewers like you. They can help you find rent, utilities, SNAP, food benefits, mortgage assistance, and help you with eviction moratorium questions as well. Their Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram individuals reach out to them and indicate the city and state you're from, and they'll get back to you shortly. That's a community page. Volunteers working for you, viewers helping one another. Stay with LA for more. Join LALATE Daily for the excitement of the new LALATE live daily. The excitement starts on mornings LALATE at 9 a.m. Home LALATE returns at 11 a.m. daily. And then afternoons LALATE at 1 p.m. Join us daily as the excitement continues live from Santa Monica on LALATE. And the excitement continues right now on early mornings LALATE as the guy is frozen in the water. There we go. You don't want to be frozen in the water. That's a nice musical, though. In the second half of this video, we'll be going over all the incredible details about this fourth stimulus recon. And guess what? He got unfrozen. So there he goes. Yeah, go, surfer. We'll be going over the big money that viewers are getting from third stimulus and how you can get this big sum of money right now because there's an additional $13 billion of cash infusion happening right now that no one saw. Then we'll be cutting back to that third cluster of checks. that actually are very automatic. Then, of course, the big exciting details as Bernie, Schumer, Warren, and others stepping forward and saying, we're going to be getting you that big stimmy IRS one. It's a big early mornings broadcast, and I'm excited you're here with me. Stay with me all weekend long. And this is LALATE, America's only 24-hour day, 7 days a week financial news channel in America. Coming up next is Overnight's Crypto, then Countdown LALATE at 7 a.m., Mornings LALATE at 9, and then Mornings Crypto, and then at 11 noontime. So subscribe. 400,000 subscribers on YouTube record. I want you part of this incredible family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 2,000-3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Casino VIP. Let's go right into that exciting details as Janet Yellen surprised us all with a $13 billion cash infusion in the middle of the week. This is why you have to become a Purple Hawk. The link to become a Purple Hawk is under the video. $13 billion is being sent out to your cities, counties, and state right today, actually yesterday, and all next week. And this is more money under third stimulus. Every state, every city will have that money. Let's go over first the incredible sums of money. Yesterday and the day before, we met Jen, who got nearly $40,000 for rent. And yes, you met Mark's neighbor. You remember Mark? He's $51,000 Mark. You met him and you met $80,000 Johnny. These are the people who've gotten big sums of money. But now the money for rent is just doubling. We have gone from $20,000 of rent on this channel to now $40,000. Mark's brother-in-law has had big successes as well. Mark's brother-in-law got $30,000 for rent, but guess what he got for utilities? Nearly 3 times what we got a month ago, $15,000. Imagine we've gone from $5,000 to $15,000. Let's look at Snap. We have gone from $5,000 to now $21,000 Mark's brother-in-law got for that as well. And the big numbers continue to roll in. Get that pen, paper, and cell phone ready because I'm going to show you how to get this big sums of money. First, I'm going to show you 6 places to reach out to. Reach out to all 6. Don't reach out to one because they have different eligibility. They also have different pots of money. If one says no, reach out to the rest of the 6. Next, listen to the keywords I say in this video, and then I have some new surprises for you as well. All right, here you go. You can reach out to the following 6 places for rent, utilities, food, internet, mortgage assistance. These are the 6 places you reach out to. First, you reach out to your city hall, your city housing authority, your county hall, your county housing authority, your state hall, and your state housing authority. And the keywords you say are rent assistance because of COVID, rent or mortgage or utility assistance because of COVID. You don't say words they don't know, and those are the words they say. Now, here's a big surprise. With $13 billion of other cash coming, every place will have money. So if you reached out to a place, if you reached out to all 6 of 6 last time, and they said no, no, no 6 times, guess what? Get that phone out and call them again and say, have you gotten that extra $13 billion cash infusion from IRS yet? If they say no, then say, I want to be on the waiting list, or can you call me back when you get that money because I want to be first in line. This is huge. That's what Kevin Lee, one of my oldest viewers of this channel, did last year. When Dallas went live with some money about April of last year, he pounced, and within 3 days, the money was gone. So make sure you pounce for this money. All right, here we go are the utility companies. The utility companies, you want to reach out to all of them because they all have their own pots of money. Third, big surprise, the nonprofits. The nonprofits were the big winners in late 2020, early 2021 on this channel in a show called Purple, where I showed viewers 5 nonprofits that pay for your rent, your utilities, your mortgage assistance, and sometimes other items. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but when they do, it's wonderful. Here are those 5 nonprofits. First, let me go over them again. United Way, Salvation Army, Community Action, Catholic Charities, St. Vincent de Paul. Again, that's United Way, Salvation Army, Community Action, Catholic Charities, and St. Vincent de Paul. The great news is that as soon as I brought them back in the mix of this channel, viewers have said, my goodness, LA. As soon as I pick up the phone, they say no one has called them for ages, and I'm first in line for rent. Other viewers saying, I'm getting furnaces, I'm getting refrigerators, I'm getting windows fixed. Viewers are saying incredible success stories because for some reason, perhaps, this is my guess, that a lot of people have looked to the federal government for rent assistance over the last few weeks, forgetting the nonprofits, which we focus so much on in 2020. And then It's important to remember, if you need holiday gifts for December, start reaching out to Salvation Army now, because we start getting those holiday gifts ready in September and October. Lastly, it's unfortunate. I thought I had more old episodes of Purple to bring back, so I'm going to go look for them and find them, because I know that has been a very popular viewership show among you at 11:30 p.m. every night to go over the nonprofits. I'll figure out what I can do to get that back into the programming lineup. All right, let's then turn to SNAP. SNAP is money for food. You get from Department of Agriculture. It pays a lot. It pays upwards of $21,000 for Mark's brother-in-law. But guess what? He will now be getting $26,000 annually. What's going on? The federal government is raising your benefits up an average of 25% automatically nationwide lifetime starting in October. That's automatically an average of 25%. For clarification, you're going to get a letter that says the current lift up, which was a result of 2 executive orders, is ending. That's not referring to this one. This one kicks in thereafter, and you get another letter saying, hi, you're getting a new lift of 25%, approximate 25% starting in October. Pick up the phone and contact the Department of Agriculture for this big money. And with that, let's go back to that third cluster of checks right now. Wow, it's just huge. Those third cluster of checks, some are automatic and some literally you don't have to do anything. Cheaper prescription medication, how would this work? You would go into a pharmacy, let's say pay $30 for a prescription on Monday. Then this becomes law on Tuesday. The next time you go back in to refill the prescription, it may be $5, making a massive savings in your wallet. The money would stay in your wallet and not come out when you go to the pharmacy the second time. How about the free internet? That would be nearly automatic. The free internet would work the following: that basically you would identify yourself to your city or county, and they would provide you the free internet password, username, and Wi-Fi connection. The federal government's giving fortunes to cities and counties and states so they can run their own internet company and provide it to you for free. Wow, just incredible, great news. Finally, let's go over 2 last things. Remember, those refund checks from IRS are coming by direct deposit, otherwise in the mail. The average payment is $2,000 to $1,200 to $2,000. You can go to irs.gov to track it. Margaret got it, Cod got it, Michael got it. And that refund check from your state due to overpayment on unemployment benefits, that's landing as well. Average payment about $3,000 to $5,000. If you've had any success story, post it in the live chat right now. And with that, we go into the final 15 minutes of this video with the big details about that push for the IRS monthly stimulus check from those Democrats. Well, here we go, and let's get to it. The final 15 reveals that it all started with this channel nearly 8 weeks ago. 8 weeks ago, we were sitting around and some people were saying, I haven't heard about it. Broadcast media doesn't mention it. Print media doesn't mention it. They don't mention it. Why do you think it's happening? Because I said we advocate for it. A stimulus check. And I told viewers 8 weeks ago to turn off everyone else and pick up the phone and call. Not a lot of people called 8 weeks ago, but WR did. Picked up the phone and advocated for a stimulus check. Advocated for it. And he called Senator Chris Coons, Democrat, Delaware, Joe Biden's oldest confidant, and advocated for a stimulus check. I need it. My community needs it. My family needs it. To the staffer for Chris Coons. And the staffer said, yes, Senator Chris Coons will be putting a monthly stimulus check in there for the forced stimulus recon. World exclusive then. I reported it, and we went with it. But in the weeks that followed, not a lot of people picked up the phone. A lot of people stepped on saying, I haven't heard. I said, push, Purple Power, push. And it all changed when I started covering a quote from Bernie Sanders. When we look at the 645 pages of the bill released so far, that is written by the House Democrats of the Budget Committee. Well, there's a Senate Budget Committee as well, and Bernie Sanders is chairman of it. And at the time, I told you that Bernie Sanders had said to broadcast media, unlike prior budget chairman, I like to get out amongst the people and hear from them. I said that was a call to action for you to pick up the phone and call his staff and say, I need it, advocate for it. And even then, not a lot of people picked up the phone. Margaret did, Lynn Glenn, and brother Joshua did, and they advocated for a stimulus check. What's advocacy? Advocacy sounds like this. I need a stimulus check because this is what's happening in my family. This is what's happening in my town. This is what's happening in my church. This is what's happening in business, my home, my community, my neighborhood. I got to tell you why I need it. I really need it. And this is how I need it. And this is how it would change my life. That's advocacy. Let me show you what's not advocacy. treating someone like a FedEx tracking tool or a UPS tracking tool. When, where, how, who, is it, was it, who? No, you don't do that. You advocate. And that's what Brother Joshua did. Pick up the phone and call Senator Bernie Sanders' staff and advocated for a stimulus check. Brother Joshua is a 2020 volunteer of the community page. Got a lot of people, a lot of money from this channel. He's also a longtime Purple Hawk. Advocated for it. And Bernie Sanders' staffer said yes. Senator Bernie Sanders will be putting a monthly stimulus check in there. It will be monthly. It will be $1,000 to $1,400, somewhere in the range, and will be about 3 to 6 months across the board. But he needs to hear your support. I said, this is a call to action, Purple Power. Pick up the phone and advocate for it. Pick up the phone and advocate for it. And you did. And then the ball started rolling. The domino effect started. You first did the push by picking up the phone and calling Bernie Sanders. And it started with viewers like Hurricane Tina and also Donnie. Donnie picked up the phone and said, hey, this is about 3 days ago. He says, I called Bernie Sanders' office and his secretary said, they're doing a forced stimulus check. And I said, why I need it. Here's Donnie advocating. Why I need it. My city needs it. I need it to progress. I need it for my water and everything else. And she said that they are doing a fourth check. I said, don't just have Donnie do your work for you. You pick up the phone and call as well. And Hurricane Teen, a longtime Purple Hawk of this channel, did. I called Bernie Sanders' office. She advocated. I got through, and they did say they're going to put in a fourth stimulus check. Then came Lori Silver on Countdown LA. She says, I called Bernie Sanders' office yesterday, and I put in a good Purple Power push vote for the people to get it. And according to them, they're working on us and getting the help we need. Then came on Afternoons LA, Carolyn Smith said, I called Bernie Sanders' office. I talked to his secretary and told her we need help. Here comes Carolyn's great advocacy. We needed help here because people were losing their homes and what they got, and they're losing what they got. And she said she agrees. And Bernie's also putting a stimulus check in there. And then came this from Will. Will really led by example. I had told you later this week that as you picked up the phone and called Bernie's office, then call Ron Wyden, Elizabeth Warren, Chris Coons, and Chuck Schumer. These are the four people that wrote that they want to put a monthly stimulus check in there. And Chris Coons is the one whose staffer told WR he wants to put a stimulus check in there. I said, once you call Bernie's office, then call the other four senators' office, and viewers starting to do it, like Will. Let's read what Will did, and boy, you need to follow Will's lead because he's showing up. Will says, I spent the day yesterday calling around, and I called Bernie. I called Warren. I called Schumer's office, and all three of their secretaries confirmed a stimulus check. I explained my situation and how a forced stimulus check would make a huge impact. There's Will advocating. And I was told yesterday it's happening. Then he spoke to Elizabeth Warren's office and advocated for even the amount. Elizabeth Warren's office asked me what kind of check I think it would be sufficient. I explained I like the American petition, and they said they're on board with it. They said Senator Warren is considering $1,400 to $2,000, 6 to 12 months. Wow. And then comes Lorica, who spoke to Senator Casey. Also, I just got off the phone with Senator Casey's office. Finally, he's on the committee for aging. He's pushing for a lot of money for the elderly and for disabled. And the girl I talked to said, yes, they are in negotiations now for the amount of the stimulus checks. Pick up the phone and call and advocate. They're probably not open today, but certainly on Monday. Pick up the phone and advocate. Advocacy starts by telling your story because the senators resonate by hearing your story. They're in D.C. They know their home state, but they don't know your state, and they want to hear from you. They don't know about the Northwest or the Southeast. They don't know about your situation, your town, or your community, your church, or your business. They want to hear from you. They want to resonate. People resonate when they hear something that they can recall and say, you can't imagine this conversation. This person has gone through everything, and the stimulus check would change their life. They need to hear your personal story. And guess what? Here comes more details of why this is big. I had told you over the last 3 months that the House subcommittee was likely to write the reconciliation budget bill, not the Senate subcommittee. Well, I was right. The first 645 pages released reveals that the House subcommittee is writing the language. They write it, and they write it after House and Senate Democrats agree upon what they want. Go write it. Then the House Democrats write it. Who votes first? Over the last 2 months, and again today in this recording, I'm reporting exclusively that I believe the House will vote first on the recon substantive. If they do, they're likely to agree upon it in a second, because the House will agree upon something they wrote up. That is huge for us, because the final vote would come from your senators. The senators would have a 2-day vote-a-rama. During that 2-day vote-a-rama, Warren, who says in this to Will that she wants to do $1,400 to $2,000 or up to 6 months. Sanders, who confirms in his staffer $1,000 to $1,400, 3 to 6 months. Casey, who confirms to Lorica he wants it. Coons, who confirms to WR he wants it. And Schumer would be last in line to make modifications of the recon, and all the other Democratic senators. That recon going last is huge, because Democratic senators won't be taking out anything from other House Democrats. They'll be adding in or expanding the numbers. This is why you need to pick up the phone and call Coons and Casey and Wyden and Warren and also Schumer. If you made the call for one, you need to make the call for the others. WR had a wonderful comment in one of the videos in the last 2 days. A viewer in the comments said, I've been praying for stimulus. He said, prayer is good. God bless you. But boy, you need to pick up the phone and call. You need to pick up the phone and call, because they need to hear from you. That is absolutely true. It's an incredible turn of events. And let's go now to fifth stimulus, because guess what? Fifth stimulus is heating up. I see a lot of comments, people asking about that Yaya tweet. I don't particularly know anything more about it. Yes, you saw that comment from Yaya. The only way I would say is for you to pick up the phone and call Wyden's office. Is SS 200 getting into fourth stimulus? I don't know. But this is what Yaya wrote. Spoke to another Wyden staffer who says he wants the SS 200 we were promised in the fourth stimulus recon. Wow. Only way for you to find out is pick up the phone and call Ron Wyden's office, and then update me by personal message, private message on social media. Let's go to fifth stimulus. Fifth stimulus raises your benefits up if you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans benefits, or SSA, or multiple beneficiaries. Step 1, they'll raise your benefits up. Step 2, they'll apply a new benchmark. The new benchmark is inflation. Where is inflation going? It's going to be high, and then it's going to come back down. This week we learned the supply chain issues in this country are very real, and they're not going away. In fact, they're getting worse. They can't get product out of the ports onto trucks. They can't ship things. Things aren't going where they need to go. That could cause inflation to go higher. I've been reporting about 5% in December. Let's do the analysis. First, they'll raise your benefits up a lifetime. Then they'll apply a new benchmark. If that new benchmark is inflation, then you'll go up another 5%, not just next year, but lifetime. Then they're going to remove the asset cap dating back to a 1980s law. They'll remove the income cap dating back to a 1960s law, and then they'll remove the marriage penalty. Will there be a fifth stimulus check? There will be next year. The House Ways and Means Committee will represent. And then finally, Purple Hawks, you need to join. You need to join as a Purple Hawk, because guess what? There's a lot of money in these stimulus packages. First, second, and third. I detail it daily in a message delivered only to members of this channel, Purple Hawks, Purple Power, Calcino VIP. And now I'm adding to that message the following details. 1, information about this additional $13 billion from IRS. So you have that information in front of you. So when you reach out to your city, county, and state, if they say they're out of money, ask them about this money and get guidance from them when you can call back to know when it's landing, because it's 100% landing. Number 2, new guidance about the nonprofits, those 5 nonprofits, and why it's so important to reach out to them, because they're just paying for stuff I don't even know how to cover. Refrigerators, furnaces, fixing windows, food, just fascinating, wonderful stuff. And there's a lot of smaller nonprofits even below there that are picking up money for this as well. Incredible details only delivered to members of this channel. And that's why members of this channel are getting big sums of money. Let's recap. 3rd, 4th, and 5th. 5th, going to a vote by November, raising your benefits up if you're on SSI and SSDI and all those other beneficiaries. 3rd, still paying. And guess what? I want you to get money as far as you can in the future. If you got rent to, let's say, October, I want you to get a rent to May next year, or February, or January. I want you to go as far as you can go. I want you to get all these sums of money, as many as you can get. They're likely not to repeat third stimulus items like rent under fourth stimulus. And then finally, fourth stimulus. The next few days are going to be absolutely incredible. You see how this last week, this channel has delivered its biggest numbers in nearly 3 months because of you. This channel is all about making history. We made history by putting a second stimulus check into the second stimulus recon when no one wanted to give it to you. We're making history again by getting the Senator's staff to say, yes, I'll give you a stimulus check, after no one was talking about it except me and you. And now, and the Democrats, they're talking about it. And Sirloin also. But now we're making history again because as a family, you can push, advocate for your stuff. Advocate for your stuff. And with that, I look forward to you join me all weekend long. Don't disappear, because when you disappear, the push disappears. I want you here all weekend long. So I'll see you next on Overnight's Crypto. I'll see you on Countdown LA at 7 a.m., then Mornings LA at 9. And so subscribe. 400,000 subscribers, YouTube record. I want you part of this incredible family. Hit that subscribe button right now. Like the video, 3,000 likes, and consider becoming a member. Purple Hawk, Purple Power, or Calcino VIP. The toast was toast and the butter was buttery. I was here, you were here, and the ways and the stimulus will be here as well. Stay informed, stay focused, and see you next on Countdown LA.